Hey, it's Bitty Penny. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm doing this week's Junk Journal January. I'm using a number of prompts and all at one time. And so I use tags, hand lettering, muted, musical, you've got mail, scented, and simplicity. All right, so I'm starting here. This journal is an accordion journal. I made it here on my channel, and I've been journaling in it all of January. So I used calligraphy pages from a book that my children were finished with. And so I actually just used the prompts on this calligraphy page for my hand lettering. And now I know hand lettering can get super fancy, but I'm just going to sideline myself if I don't just consider my handwriting this prompt. And what I mean by that is I could really get sidelined in trying to make like really beautiful hand lettering. And I don't want to do that. For me, journaling is such a quiet place. It's such a peaceful place. Journaling is something I was reflecting on this week. I've done it since I was very young. The first time I had a journal, I don't even know if I was 10 yet. I think I've been journaling most of my life. And it's such a sacred thing for me to journal. And only since I discovered junk journaling did I start journaling in new and different ways, like having an art journal and all exploring all the possibilities of journaling. This is the first prompt journal I've ever done. So it's really fun. I just encourage y'all to explore some of the different ways that you can journal. Maybe you haven't journaled in years, decades, and you want to pick it back up, but you don't know where to start. This is my first prompt journal, and it really is fun. I'm making it, a little bit artsy, including stamps and ephemera and things like that. I'm using my watercolor here. I just decided to add some muted green, which muted was one of my prompts, and kind of do an ombre, just really sloppy wash over this white paper. I don't know. I had to add something else to it. And I thought this worked. It worked for me. And that's the other thing that I find so liberating about journaling is that it's just for you. So you only do what makes you happy. You stop when you're happy. You keep going if you want, and you can overload it, or you can make it as simple as you want. You can do anything you want for yourself in your journal, and you don't have to please anyone. You don't need to worry. You just have fun. And I think that that is a very liberating way to paper craft. So up there at the top, the prompt says, draw your teacher. I'm not going to draw anybody in here. So I have these new page tabs that are vintage ladies. I got them from Louise Heinzel, and she's on Etsy. She's also on YouTube. She's really inspirational and super cool. And you know what? It's funny. I've been shopping with her before I knew she had a YouTube channel. I just discovered that she had a YouTube channel. I've been shopping with her for a while. It's so funny, and she's fantastic. Anyway, so that's where I got these. I'm going to try to do better about sharing with you guys where my printables are coming from. And holy cow, I'm so excited about my own printables that I've been making for you guys. I have been pouring so much of my spare time into making printables, and it's all ephemera. It's not like journal kits, not yet anyways. One day, no limits, but for now it's just ephemera for card makers and journalers. I want to gear it towards both because I am both. But I'm so excited. I'm going to have like 3 released here pretty soon. All right, so I added a floral piece of ephemera there on that one. And you guys also, the Accordion Journal, I think, is the easiest journal to make if you've never made a journal before. Maybe that's the intimidating part about junk journaling for you. I think it's something different for everyone. But the Accordion Journal is by far the easiest, in my opinion. And it is so much fun to work in because just like this, I just feel like my spreads just keep going and going and they feed into each other. And so it's not like when you turn a page and you only have 2 pages to work on and then you have to turn the page again. There's something really special about unfolding the book in this way to where there's a continuum. And I'm really appreciating this. In fact, I'm going to sit down today and make another one for myself because this one's going to be done in January. I'll have it completed. There will be no more pages to journal in. It'll all be done. So I'm already going to make myself another one. I'm going to keep going with these accordion journals. They are that fun. Okay, so I have one of my old book page envelopes, which I have this in a video. I know it's a longer video. I kind of recorded it like a live video because honestly, I wasn't going to have a lot of content for y'all last week if I didn't. And I'd had so many requests for it. This was my daughter's grocery list for me one day. And I just love her handwriting and I love just having that little thing to tuck in there. It'll be a nice surprise for me each time I open that envelope and see my sweet daughter's handwriting in her grocery list. She even wrote out one for her dad. He was resting. She's like, he's resting. I know what he likes. I'll just write down what he wants. It's super cute. So I'm just writing on the back of here so I can just kind of date it and, write what it is. And tucking that back in my book page envelope. I'm doing really well using up the ephemera pack. If you guys been following along, this is my favorite ephemera pack of all time. In fact, as I've been making this ephemera printables for you guys, I've been thinking I need to make something in this vein for myself that like replaces this ephemera pack for me. I love it that much and I'm using it all up in this journal. And it's not a current one. It's a few years old. I've hoarded it. I know I'm with my people when I say that. And, I just decided, well, I've used some, for card making and given the cards away, but then I saved the rest and I was like, it's going to be perfect to put in this journal. So I just had a scrap piece of paper. So another thing I've been doing, you guys, is I have a file folder that has some of my favorite paper scraps in it. I know I've talked about this before too, but maybe this is the first time you're hearing it. I cut the paper up and use it in card making or journal making, and then I save some scraps for myself. And I'm going to be using those in my journals so that I can always kind of have a piece. One of the other prompts was musical, and I went through my hymn book and I just found a hymn that I thought summarized where I was at the time. Like I picked one that I thought was fitting for my mindset and my emotions during this time. And, I think that that's something that I enjoy so much about journaling is it gives me a clear place to process my emotions. Otherwise, I think I'm kind of a person who will suppress them or just acknowledge them and move on kind of thing, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, because emotions are always changing. And I do love the idea of not giving in to our emotions because our emotions can actually set us on a path of destruction. If we let it. Like, I think we do have to regulate our emotions and not let them run wild. I think it's important, but I also think it's too important to acknowledge them and recognize them and process them. And I think that that's something that I enjoy about journaling. I will never forget there was a turbulent time in my life. A lot of it had to do with a relationship that I was in that wasn't healthy for me. And the journals I had during that time, just the pages were so toxic. And I know I was just processing, but I was like, ugh. Like, actually, when I went back and I reflected on those, I stopped journaling for a while. I was like, I'm not picking up journaling again until it can be, something that has more beauty in it. Getting out of the relationship helped. Anyways, so now I'm bringing my watercolors back in, and I don't know. I didn't have a plan, a thought, a process. There was no theory. I'm just splashing some color because it came to me and I decided to do it. Looking back, editing this, it's kind of nice that it matches the pond that the swan is in. I wasn't even thinking of that at the time, but it came together nicely. Maybe it was subconscious. We'll go with that. So, again, this piece of paper that you guys saw me put down with the plants, all the different flowers that are kind of taped there, that is a sheet of Maggie Holmes. Again, one of my favorite pages or pieces of scrapbook paper, and that was all I had left of it. That was my scrap, and I decided to just use the whole thing right there, and I just love it. And then I have this other piece that's a scrap that I'm turning into a pocket here. I have a lot of people ask me, what do you use junk journals for? That is like one of the most popular comments or common comments that I get when I release a junk journal video. I use it for everything, you guys. I made one for myself this week that is like my to-do list. I've discovered when it comes to planning, I'm best if I just create lists of what I need to finish and tackle versus trying to like plan out my whole week. That's so exhausting for me. Really, it is. And then to try to keep up, and then I beat myself up when I don't do it. I'm really just better with like, let's create a list, a realistic list. Let's make sure we add fun, rest, and things that will be fun to check off along with things that need to be checked off. Let's add some goals and dreams in there. Like, I try to have a variety. I have some that are like immediate things to do, things to think about this week, things to check off this month. I kind of give myself all kinds of parameters, if you will, so it keeps my list interesting. But yeah, I started a junk journal for that. I have this one that's for prompts. I have them for all kinds of things. All right, so one of the prompts that I'm covering here is tags, which I had perfectly 4 tucked in with my ephemera. And one of the other prompts was scented. So I went and grabbed my hubby's cologne. I grabbed my son's cologne and mine and my daughter's. Now, my daughter actually doesn't wear perfume. She's 8, about to be 9. So she's on to deodorant, but not perfume yet. But I grabbed one of my perfumes that I thought made me think of her. So I used just a really fun, light, floral, sugary. It's very sugary, the scent that I used for her, because she is my sparkle heart. She's sweet, sweeter than sugar, sweeter than pie. So I had to pick a really sweet scent for her. And I have this Hero Arts set that I've never used. It's been in my hoard of supplies that I'm very blessed and thankful to have. But I always knew I would use it at some point. Like, it's just super cool. My mom loves cameos. My goodness, she's loved them since before I came into this world, and she still loves them till today. So it definitely made me think of her. But it's got like family silhouettes. And so I'm just kind of stamping out the silhouettes for us. One of the other prompts was simplicity that I'm using today. And so I did keep these tags really simple. I just kind of picked a color for everyone. And each person got a different frame. And then I put a silhouette for that person in each one. So, my family were biracial, and so it's always interesting when you're looking for like people representative of your family or whatever. So in this case, I actually used the boy stamp for my daughter, the quote unquote boy stamp for my daughter and my son, because my daughter has just a big, beautiful afro, and she doesn't have a ponytail. And the girl on the stamp set has, like, a ponytail. It's not the same. It would not represent her. So I just used the boy and added flowers. Y'all can see over there on the right, I also added, just stapled on some, actually that's a bag handle from a gift bag. But I did brown for all of us, like a family tree. And now I'm adding in some more musical lyrics here. You are the sunshine of my life. I love you forevermore. That is for my whole family. This is kind of a family spread. It turned into that anyways. So I decided to use that there in that window. And then the You've Got Mail. Well, I covered that with my little envelope there, but I also decided to pull in these postcard images. These are from Tsunami Rose. And I actually ended up making myself a little kind of card or booklet here. It's not a booklet. It's really more like a card. But it's a journaling spot. There we go. We'll call it that. And so I used 2 of these postcards. As you can tell, I didn't cut off the white part for that one, the top card. I'm cutting this one all the way to the edges. That way I had a piece to fold over and connect this other card to it. See? So now that's fun. I'm going to glue those together and I'll have a fun little journaling spot to write on the front right on the back of each one of these. I think this is what's so liberating about having a journal if you're a paper crafter, is all the ways you can construct things and think of your supplies in a different way. It definitely carries back over to your card making. For sure it does. So there's that. And so now I have everything done. I wrote on the back of each one of these. On mine, I just wrote that my love bought me that Hermes Rogue cologne when he was in France. So that's it, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.